So even getting into the recap, a 23-17 win for the Seahawks. They're going to their second Super Bowl in team history. What I liked about Seattle was they kept going to the running game, whereas San Francisco was completely shut down. Their running game was completely shut down, similarly to the Patriots, that we'll talk about a little later. Michael Schur has told me since week 1, the team starts and the offense starts with Frank Gore. Frank Gore could not get it going at all.
What were his stats last night?
Glad you asked.
Good question. 11 carries, 14 yards.
Oh.
1.3 yards.
How many
per
receptions
carry.
did he have, though? He had a,
I don't have the receptions numbers. I don't have that. But running the game, like, you got to be able to kind of run the ball in 2013, 2014, and they simply couldn't.
Kaepernick had a couple runs, big runs.
Oh, he had a great game.
I think you're right.
Running the ball, of course.
Seattle defense is a monster. It's no, there's a reason they couldn't run the ball. I think Seattle planned for that. They got the best secondary in the league, so they can pack the box with 8
even
people
without
because
Brandon
Richard
Browning.
Sherman can, even without Brandon Browning, because Richard Sherman can guard Crabtree one-on-one, which very few, if any, other teams have in the NFL.
Sure.
So it's not really a surprise that they couldn't run the ball, if you ask me.
So you talked about Kaepernick. He went 14 of 24 for 153. That's obviously
insane.
Passing. Running, 11 carries, 130 yards.
Yeah.
That's insane.
One of which was like a 70-yard
But
run.
he had the same amount rushing and passing.
Yeah.
It's insanely great.
Nearly.
I mean, I wish he had more through the air, but
Sure, of course.
But when you can run like that.
Yeah, but I was getting the feeling in the fourth quarter, why not run a little more?
Yeah,
I mean, he was running very successfully throughout. And then, look, my Faja came in from Chicago. That's an Austin Powers reference.
Faja.
None of you guys get it.
I'm still just too.
My dad came in from Chicago, and he made an interesting point, and let me get your take on this. When he threw the interception, Kaepernick did, and he took the blame. They had 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter. Tough. When he threw the interception to Crabtree, my dad made a point right when they were throwing it. Why would you throw it? The middle of the field has been wide open. But, it was successful throughout that last drive.
Yeah.
So why exactly would you go on a fade route with Crabtree alone with Sherman instead of basically doing those sorts of same plays over and over?
Wasn't that sort of a mental error on Kaepernick's part as far as time left on the clock at that point? There was still 20-something seconds. You still had 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just
So you're saying don't go for it yet. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think you have 6'4" receivers. You throw the fade route. I mean, just on principle, probably is kind of that's what the coaching 101 would say to do. Would be to throw to Michael Crabtree, who's 6'4" in the corner of the end zone. Fortunately, Richard Sherman is also like 6'2".
Yeah. Even against Richard Sherman, though?
No, I wouldn't. But I think that's what 90% of coaches in America would do at that point. Because if it's an incompletion, clock stops, or it's a touchdown. You have a 6'4" receiver. You'd expect him to knock it away or catch it.
Sure.
I'm down with it.
Russell Wilson, meanwhile, here's what he said on the 4th and 7 play, which was, by the way, interesting, to say the least. They call a timeout, and then, no, you know what? Hausch could go out there. No, timeout. Let's actually run a play. Yeah. So then they draw Alden Smith offside, and here's what Russell Wilson said about it pre-throwing the ball. If they jumped offsides, we were going to try to take a shot downfield, and sure enough, they did. So it was obviously a design play. Right when everyone saw the flags go up in the air, just take a shot. He did to Jermaine Kearse. Phenomenal pass.
It was awesome.
Which pass was better, that pass to Jermaine Kearse or the Kaepernick pass to Anquan Bolden?
I don't know.
I'd say the Russell Wilson. That was incredible. The scramble as well.
But it's also incredible because you have a free play at that point.
Exactly.
So you can maybe even try and fit something in where you shouldn't, and just because it doesn't matter.
Right. And he did.
Yeah,
and he did.
And the way he extended that play also. We're talking about the scrambling play, and then he chucks it downfield.
No, the 4th and 7 play to Jermaine Kearse.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But the Kaepernick Bolden pass was just...
Well, he was in the air.
Yeah.
Pretty.
He threw it off of 1 foot in the air. I mean, that JR was saying, I was watching with JR and a few other people, he was like, that was all arm strength right there. Like, it was.
It was.
It was totally arm strength. So we
That's
already
why he kisses those biceps.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah? Is that... Nah. I kiss my own biceps. Russell Wilson, the 6th player to start the Super Bowl in his 1st or 2nd year in the league. Can you guys name some of the others?
Flacco.
Wrong.
No.
What? Wait, what was the...
He's the 6th player to start a Super Bowl.
Oh, start a Super Bowl.
In his 1st or 2nd year in the league.
Who else?
Trivia.
I can't think of Kaepernick.
Yes. He also played yesterday.
Yeah, sure.
He also played yesterday.
He also played yesterday. Brady?
Oh,
Brady, correct.
That's right, because he came in.
Yes. It's a great segment.
I don't know.
Tom Brady,
Riveting
Colin
television.
Kaepernick, Ben Roethlisberger, Kurt
wow.
Warner,
I was about to say Kurt Warner.
and Dan Marino.
There you go.
Star of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
True.